So this is not my normal kind of video. I am more of a technology guy, servers, networking, security, stuff like that. But I'm in the process of, there's two cameras. I don't know which one to look at. I'm in the process of setting up a new studio up here, upstairs. I've got a room, small bedroom, that is going to become a recording studio because I'm trying to get back into content development. I'm redoing this room, and in trying to get everything laid out, trying to get all the equipment set up and all of that, at one point I had two webcams plugged in. Or rather, one is a phone, one is an actual proper webcam, but they both function relatively the same. Anyway, I had them both connected, and I happened to glance kind of out of the corner of my eye at the screen, and the difference in picture was astounding. It blew my mind. So I wanted to make a quick video to show you the difference between using a Logitech webcam as a camera for streaming or recording in OBS or whatever, and using an old iPhone as a camera as well. I happen to have an old iPhone just kicking around. It's an iPhone 8 Plus. It's old by any standard at this point. I think the 8 Plus came out in 2017. I believe that's what it said when I looked it up. The webcam that I have is still one of Logitech's flagship webcams, even though it came out in 2016. That's the Logitech C922 Pro. Both the iPhone and the Logitech C922 are outputting video at 1920 by 1080, so 1080p, 30 frames per second. They both have their white balance set to auto. They both have their focus set to auto. Everything is set to auto, just like a normal person would use it right out of the box. Now, obviously, you're not going to set up an iPhone as a webcam and get the cable and buy the special software and all that just as a matter of course. But there are a lot of people that in the streaming community and in the content creation community that use iPhones with some special software to turn them into a camera. Anyway, all that to say, I wanted to do a quick video to show you the difference between Logitech's C922 Pro and an old iPhone. So we're looking at the Logitech right now. You can see it up here. There's the text that tells you what we're looking at. Everything's a little blue. I'm sitting by a window. There's no other lighting turned on here in the room. There's no key lights. There's no nothing. I wanted to see, light, shadow. I wanted to get all of that contrast in to show you what the difference is between the two cameras. So one side of my face is really overexposed, the other's in shadow just because of the way that the light's coming in and going across the profile of my face. But I think it kind of serves to show what each camera does well and maybe what each camera doesn't. So the Logitech came out in 2016, the iPhone 8 Plus came out in 2017. I think the big difference between the two is Apple is not still selling the same product as they were back in 2017. Camera technology has marched on. But Logitech continues to sell the C922 Pro. They're just milking it for all it's worth. I assume, especially during COVID times, making money. They got to have been making money hand over fist on those things. I know, because for a while there, you just couldn't find them. Anyway, so we're looking at the Logitech right now. Picture looks pretty sharp. Color's pretty blue. Half of my face is pretty washed out, but it's a perfectly serviceable picture. Now let's switch over to the iPhone 8 Plus, which again is 5 years old, but the color is so much richer and warmer. That's one of the reasons I put this shirt on. It's got whites, blues, yellows. There's a little bit of red mixed in here as well that I think you can kind of see. It kind of comes out here on the iPhone 8. On the Logitech, maybe not so much. I love the way that this picture looks. Granted, could it look a lot better? Yeah, it could. We could, on a proper camera, you know, if we spent $1,000 on a camera body and a bunch of money on a decent lens, you know, some 50mm lens or something, we could play with the depth of field. It would be a little bit sharper. We'd get a little bit better color. But without spending $1,000+ on something, for my money, this looks pretty darn good. The text over here on these certificates, the text is a little bit sharper here. The colors are a little less muted. You can see kind of the green and the yellow on the Logitech here. It's a little muted, but you switch on over, the colors are a little bit richer. Like I said, I'm kind of working this space over to be a recording area. One of the things I'm going to be doing is painting the wall behind me. You can see a sound dampening panel just kind of chilling on the floor behind me as well. But one of the things that you can definitely see with the iPhone is there's a bunch of scuffs on the wall. This had been, I think when the previous owners lived here in this house, this had been a child's bedroom, and anyone who's had kids, you know, the paint gets chipped, the walls get scuffed up. That's just the way it goes. But you can definitely see over there and over there, we've got some color missing on the wall. We switch over to the Logitech, and a lot of that just disappears. You can see that big chunk of paint that's missing over there, but the one that we looked at over here has just kind of disappeared a little bit. So we're picking up colors a little bit better here on the iPhone for my money, and I didn't spend much because it's just an iPhone that was just hanging around in a drawer somewhere. For my money, this is great. This is great picture. Let's put them side by side. I think side by side really tells the story. You can look at the light and the shadow on my face. You can look at the colors on the shirt and which of the bright colors, the yellow and the red, which camera they actually pop on. Here on the wall here, the greens, the yellows, the contrast between the black frame and the white matting, which one really pops? I think most people would agree that the iPhone 8 Plus is providing a much better picture. And like I said, these are both fairly old products. The C922 Pro from Logitech came out in 2016. The iPhone 8 Plus came out in 2017. Obviously, the camera and the iPhone's come a long way. I've got an iPhone 12 right here that I'm about to retire and get the new iPhone 14. So this iPhone 12 that has an even better camera than the iPhone 8 Plus will probably become my next camera upgrade. Now, obviously, if my channel takes off and all that stuff and gets to the point where it's worth it, then I'll invest in something from Sony or Canon and to get that really good picture, that really sharp picture, and we can really play with depth of field and stuff like that. But for right now, just getting started, could you stream and could you live with a Logitech? Absolutely. Picture's just fine. Could you use, or should you use, a relatively capable smartphone if you have an old one in a drawer somewhere? I think the picture speaks for itself. The answer is yes. And here they are again, side by side. Anyway, I am tired of figuring out which camera I want to look at, so we're going to wrap this video up. Thanks for watching. If you found it helpful, leave me a comment. Hit the subscribe button. That really helps me out. I appreciate it, and take care.